I never thought my own son would ask me to leave his engagement party. Not because I was drunk. Not because I had embarrassed him. Not because I had said anything cruel to his fiancée. I was sitting quietly at a table near the window, holding a glass of sparkling water, when my son walked toward me with a face I had never seen before. His name was Ethan Miller. He was 34 years old. I had raised him alone. And that night, in front of almost 40 guests, he looked at me as if I were a problem he needed to remove. "Mom," he said through clenched teeth, "you need to leave." For a second, I honestly thought I had misunderstood him. "What?" He looked around. His fiancée, Lauren, was standing a few feet behind him. She didn't look surprised. That was the part that hurt me most. She looked amused, almost satisfied. Ethan lowered his voice. "You're embarrassing me." I stared at him. "Ethan, what did I do? Please don't make this harder." I looked toward Lauren. She folded her arms and gave me a tiny smile. Then she nodded, just once, like she was giving Ethan permission. I felt something inside me break. Not loudly. There was no dramatic scene. No screaming. No crying. I simply put my glass down. I stood up. And I said, "All right." Ethan looked relieved. That expression on his face would stay with me for a very long time. I picked up my purse. I walked past the people I had known for years. Past the flowers. Past the cake. Past the photographs of Ethan and Lauren displayed on a large screen. And I walked out. I didn't look back. I didn't know it then, but that walk out of the party would change everything. Because the next morning, at 8:17 a.m., my phone rang. It was Ethan. His voice sounded completely different. "Mom." "Yes." "I need your help." I was silent. He took a breath. "I need access to the family trust." I closed my eyes. And for the first time since he had been born, I realized something terrifying. My son had never understood what I had actually protected for him. He thought the trust was money. He didn't know it was a responsibility. And he certainly didn't know what I was about to do. I whispered 4 words. 4 words that ended his plans. "No. It's frozen." And that was only the beginning. My name is Margaret Miller. I'm 61 years old. And if you're wondering how a mother can go from planning her son's engagement celebration to freezing his access to a family trust in less than 24 hours, I understand. Because I never imagined I would have to do it either. Let me take you back. I was 27 when Ethan was born. His father, David, and I had been married for 6 years. David worked in commercial construction. I was a high school counselor. We weren't rich. We lived in a modest 3-bedroom house outside Portland, Oregon. Our kitchen had old cabinets. Our driveway had cracks. And every winter, we complained about the heating bill. But we were happy. At least I thought we were. When Ethan was 4, David died unexpectedly. One afternoon, he called me from work. He sounded tired. He told me he'd be home late. That was the last conversation I ever had with him. The next call came from the hospital. A heart attack. He was gone before I could even get there. I remember sitting beside Ethan that night. He was asleep. He had no idea his entire world had changed. I watched his little chest rise and fall. And I made him a promise. You will never have to wonder whether you're loved. I kept that promise. But perhaps I kept it too well. After David died, I sold our house. I moved into a smaller one. I took on extra work. I stopped buying things for myself. I learned how to fix leaking faucets. I learned how to change a tire. I learned how to smile when I was terrified. And eventually, I discovered something I hadn't known about David's family. His grandfather had established a small family investment trust years earlier. It wasn't enormous at first. But over time, the investments grew. By the time Ethan turned 21, the trust was worth a little over $2 million. I couldn't access it for myself. The trust had been structured specifically for Ethan. But there was a condition. Ethan wouldn't receive full control until he was 35. Until then, I was the trustee. At the time, I thought the arrangement was strange. But the attorney explained it to me. David's grandfather didn't want young people receiving large amounts of money before they were mature enough to handle it. I understood. Ethan didn't. When he was 21, He asked me how much money was in the trust. I told him. He laughed. Mom, you're kidding. No. So I'm a millionaire? You will have access to the trust eventually. He smiled. That smile frightened me a little, because from that moment on, money became something he thought about differently. He started asking questions. What can I buy? Can I use it to start a business? Could I buy a house? I always told him the same thing. It's not your spending account. He hated that sentence. But he eventually accepted it. Or at least I thought he did. Ethan went to college. He studied business. He got a good job. He rented a nice apartment. He bought a new car. For several years, he seemed responsible. Then he met Lauren. The first time I met her, she was charming. Very charming. She arrived at my house carrying a bottle of expensive wine. She hugged me immediately. Mrs. Miller, I've heard so much about you. Please call me Margaret. She smiled. Margaret. She looked around my house. Not casually, carefully. Her eyes moved from the paintings to the furniture to the bookshelves. Then she asked a question that caught me off guard. Is this the house you raised Ethan in? Yes. She smiled. It feels very peaceful. I didn't think much of it. At first, Ethan was happier than I'd seen him in years. He called me more. He started talking about the future. He told me Lauren was different. She understands me, Mom. I smiled. That's good. She supports my goals. That's important. She thinks I should start my own company. I paused. What kind of company? Real estate. I nodded. That can be a good business. Then he said something that made me uncomfortable. I could use some of the trust to get started. I looked at him. You know that's not how it works. His smile disappeared. I know. Your grandfather put those restrictions there for a reason. Yeah, I know. But he didn't sound like he knew. He sounded angry. A few months later, Ethan and Lauren announced their engagement. I was thrilled. I bought Lauren a necklace. Nothing extravagant. Just a delicate gold necklace with a small pendant. When I gave it to her, she hugged me. Oh my God, Margaret. It's beautiful. I'm glad you like it. She looked at the necklace. Then at me. Ethan told me you were very careful with money. I laughed. I suppose I am. She smiled. You should be. I didn't understand the comment. Not then. The engagement party was held at a beautiful country club outside the city. Ethan and Lauren had spent a lot of money on it. There were flowers everywhere. A photographer. A champagne tower. Live music. A large screen showing pictures of them together. I remember standing there that evening and thinking about the little boy I used to carry upstairs when he fell asleep on the couch. I was proud of him, even though something inside me had been uneasy for months. Around 8 o'clock, Lauren came over. She sat beside me. Margaret, can I ask you something? Of course. Have you and Ethan talked about the trust recently? Ist her. Why? She smiled. I'm just curious. It's private. Her smile faded. Oh, I didn't say anything else. She stood up. Of course. She walked away. About 20 minutes later, Ethan came to me. Mom. Yes. Can we talk? Sure. He led me toward a quiet hallway. What happened? I asked. He looked frustrated. You made Lauren uncomfortable. What did I do? She asked you about the trust. I told her it was private. She was only asking. I understand. You could have been nicer. I stared at him. Ethan, I was polite. He shook his head. Forget it. He walked away. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. About 10 minutes later, Lauren walked past me. She leaned close enough that only I could hear her. You really should learn when to stop holding people back. I turned. What did you say? She smiled. Nothing. That was when I finally understood. She wasn't asking about the trust because she was curious. She wanted access. And Ethan had begun believing that I was the only thing standing between them and the life they wanted. Still, I never expected what happened next. Around 9:30, Ethan approached me again. This time his face was cold. Mom, you need to go. I laughed nervously. What? You heard me. Ethan, what's wrong? You're embarrassing me. The words hit harder than I expected. I looked around. People were watching. Lauren stood behind him. She didn't say anything. She didn't need to. Her expression said enough. I whispered, "I'm your mother." He looked away. "I know. I came here because you invited me. I know. I brought your fiancé a gift. I know. So why are you treating me like this?" He rubbed his forehead. "Because you don't understand boundaries." I stared at him. Boundaries? Yes. What boundary did I cross? He didn't answer. Lauren finally spoke. "Maybe we should just let her go." I looked at her, then back at Ethan, and something inside me became very calm. I realized I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to beg my son to let me stay at his engagement party. So I picked up my purse. "All right." Ethan looked relieved. I walked toward the exit. But before I reached the door, I heard someone whisper behind me, "She always thinks she knows best." I didn't turn around. I left. I sat in my car. I closed the door. And for the first time that night I cried. Not because Ethan had asked me to leave, but because I suddenly remembered every sacrifice I'd made for him. The nights I worked late. The birthdays I spent alone. The vacations I never took. The times I told myself I didn't need anything because he needed it more. I sat there for almost 20 minutes. Then I wiped my face. I drove home. I slept badly. At 8:17 the next morning, Ethan called. "Mom." "Yes." "I need the trust." I sat up in bed. "Excuse me. I need access to the money." "Why?" "There's a business opportunity." "What kind?" "Real estate." I closed my eyes. "Ethan, we have discussed this." "I know. You don't have full access yet." "I know. I can't change the terms." "You're the trustee." "Yes. So you can authorize it. Not for personal use." He became silent. Then his voice changed. "Mom, please." I looked out the window. "Why do you need it so urgently?" He didn't answer. "Ethan, we have a closing." "What closing?" "It's complicated." "How much?" "About 600,000. I nearly dropped the phone.
$600,000.
"It's an investment." "With whom?" Silence. "Ethan, answer me." "Lauren's father." That sentence changed everything. "Lauren's father?" "Yes." "What's his name?" "Robert." I knew the name. I'd heard it before. Robert had been mentioned several times. He was apparently a businessman. Successful. Well-connected. Confident. And according to Lauren, very wealthy. I asked, "What exactly are you investing in?" "Property." "Where?" "Seattle." "What's the property address?" "Mom, this isn't an interrogation." "Then answer me." He became angry. "You don't trust me." I said quietly, "I trust my son. I don't trust people I haven't met." He hung up. 5 minutes later, I received a text. "We need the money by noon." I stared at that message for a long time. Then I called my attorney. Her name was Susan Blake. She had handled the trust since David's death. "Susan, I need you to review something immediately." She knew my voice. What happened? I told her everything. The engagement party. Ethan asking me to leave. The call. The $600,000. Lauren's father. Susan was silent. Then she said something that made my stomach tighten. "Margaret, don't authorize anything." "Why?" "Because I received a request yesterday." "What request?" She hesitated. "Your son tried to obtain information about the trust." My heart started beating faster. "What kind of information?" "Account balances. Investment statements. Beneficiary records." "Did you give them to him?" "No." "Why?" "Because he wasn't authorized to request them directly." I sat down. "Susan, is there something else?" Another silence. "Yes." "What?" "There was an attempted change to the trust's banking instructions." I couldn't breathe for a moment. "What?" "Someone submitted paperwork asking that future distributions be redirected." "To whom?" "To a new account." "Whose account?" Susan didn't answer immediately. Then she said, "An LLC." "What LLC?" She gave me the name. Miller Ross Holdings. Ross was Lauren's last name. I stared at the wall. They had created a company, and they wanted my trust money moved into it. I suddenly understood the engagement party, the pressure, the questions, the urgency, the sudden anger. They weren't asking me for $600,000 because of a business opportunity. They were trying to get control. I asked Susan, "Did Ethan sign this?" "We're still verifying the signatures." "Do you think he forged them?" "I didn't say that." "But you think someone did." Susan sighed. "Margaret, I think you need to come to my office." I drove there immediately. When I arrived, she had a file waiting for me. She opened it. Inside were documents, a proposed investment agreement, a transfer authorization, a new banking form, and a letter stating that I was voluntarily releasing certain trustee responsibilities. I looked at the signature. My signature. Except it wasn't mine. It looked close. Very close. But I knew my own handwriting. "This is a forgery." Susan nodded. "We believe so." I felt sick. "Who did this?" "We don't know." I looked at the documents again. Then I saw something. A date. The documents had been prepared 3 weeks earlier. 3 weeks. That meant the engagement wasn't the beginning. It was part of a plan already in motion. I asked Susan, "What happens if I freeze the trust?" She looked at me. "If we can establish suspicious activity, we can suspend distributions pending review." "How long?" "Potentially months." "And Ethan?" "He won't like it." I laughed bitterly. "I don't think he likes me very much right now anyway." Susan reached across the desk. "Margaret, this isn't about punishing your son." "I know. It's about protecting the assets." I nodded. Then I made the decision. Freeze it. Susan looked at me. "Are you sure?" "Yes. Once we do this, your son may accuse you of sabotaging his future." I looked down at the forged signature. He already accused me of embarrassing him. I closed the folder. Let's protect him from himself. At 11:42 a.m., the trust was frozen. At 12:06, Ethan called. I didn't answer. He called again. Then again. Then came a text. "Mom, what did you do?" I didn't respond. Another message arrived. "The bank says the funds are frozen." Then, "You can't do this to me." I stared at the screen. I almost called him. Almost. But then I remembered the forged signature. I remembered Lauren's smile. And I remembered my son telling me to leave. I turned my phone face down. That afternoon, Ethan came to my house. He knocked so hard I thought the door would break. I opened it. He walked inside without asking. "Why did you freeze the trust?" I said. "Good afternoon to you too." "Mom, this is serious." "I know. You've ruined the deal." "What deal?" He stopped. I looked at him. "What deal, Ethan?" He looked away. "It's a real estate investment." "Then show me the documents." "I don't have them." "Why?" "Because Robert has them." "Lauren's father?" "Yes." "Then let's call him." "No." "Why not?" He became frustrated. "Because you don't understand business." I laughed. "I raised you on a counselor's salary. I understand more about money than you think." He stared at me. Then he said something I'll never forget. "You've always been afraid of losing me." I felt my heart sink. "What? You use money to control me?" I shook my head. "No, Ethan. I used to use money to protect you. You don't get to decide anymore." "Actually, I do." His face changed. "You're really going to destroy my marriage?" "No." "Then release the money." "No." He stepped closer. "You don't know what you're doing." I looked him straight in the eyes. "Yes, I do." He turned toward the door. Before leaving, he said, "Lauren is going to hate you." I answered, "She already does." He stopped, then walked out. That night, I barely slept. Not because I was afraid of losing the money. I was afraid of losing my son. There is a difference. People think mothers are only afraid of their children dying. They're wrong. Sometimes you're afraid of losing a child who is still alive. You watch them become someone you don't recognize. And you wonder where you went wrong. The next morning, Susan called. "Margaret, we found something." My stomach tightened. "What?" "The LLC." "What about it?" "It was registered 6 months ago." "By whom?" She paused. "Robert Ross." I sat down. "So he created it?" "Yes." "And Ethan?" "Ethan is listed as a managing member." I closed my eyes. How much money has already gone into the company? That's the problem. What problem? There are several incoming transfers. From where? Susan lowered her voice. From other people. What do you mean? Private investors. I understood immediately. They weren't planning to use only my money. They were collecting money from multiple people. And Ethan had been brought into it. I asked, "Is it legitimate?" Susan answered carefully, "We don't know yet. But you suspect something." "Yes." That afternoon, I received another call. This time it was Lauren. "Margaret." "Yes." "Can we talk?" "About what?" "Ethan." I didn't say anything. She continued, "He's devastated. I imagine he is. You're hurting him. I didn't create this situation. You froze the trust. Because someone tried to move the money without proper authorization. That was a misunderstanding." I sat up. "What? You heard me." "Lauren, whose signature is on those documents?" Silence. Then she said, "I don't know." "You don't know?" "No." I said quietly, "Then you should ask your father." She hung up. For the first time, I saw fear behind her confidence. And I knew I was getting closer to the truth. 3 days later, Susan called me into her office again. She had another file. This one was thicker. "Margaret, we've received information from the bank." "What information?" "Your son's proposed investment wasn't what he told you." "What was it?" "The property doesn't exist." Ist her. "What?" "The address listed in the agreement belongs to an empty commercial lot." I felt cold. Then what was the $600,000 for? "We don't know." Susan opened another document. "There's more." She showed me an email. It had been sent from Robert to Ethan. I read it. The message was simple. "Once your mother releases the funds, everything changes." I read it twice. Everything changes. Not the business starts. Not we close the deal. Everything changes. I looked at Susan. "We need to confront them." She shook her head. "Not yet." "Why?" "Because we don't know how deep this goes." And she was right. So I waited. For 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, Ethan didn't speak to me. Lauren blocked me on social media. Several people from the engagement party stopped contacting me. One woman I had known for years called me. She said, "Margaret, you should apologize." "For what?" "For embarrassing Ethan." I laughed. "You weren't there when it happened." "Yes, but I heard his side." "Then you heard the wrong side." She hung up. It hurt. But I learned something during those weeks. When people only know one version of a story, they often choose the version that makes them feel comfortable. And sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. 3 weeks after the engagement party, Susan finally called. "Come to my office." When I arrived, Ethan was there. So was Lauren. And Lauren's father, Robert. I hadn't met him before. He looked calm. Too calm. He stood up. "Mrs. Miller." "Margaret." He smiled. "Margaret." Susan motioned for everyone to sit. Ethan wouldn't look at me. Robert spoke first. "I think there has been a terrible misunderstanding." I said nothing. He continued. "We were trying to build something for the future." Using my trust? Using Ethan's future assets. That's not the same thing. It will be. I looked at him. "You submitted forged paperwork." He smiled. "That hasn't been proven." Susan pushed a document across the table. "It has." Robert's smile disappeared. Susan continued. "We had the signatures analyzed." She turned toward Ethan. "Your mother did not sign those documents." Ethan looked at Robert. Robert said nothing. Then Lauren spoke. "Dad." Robert stood up. This meeting is over. Susan didn't move. No. Robert stared at her. She said, "You're not leaving until the bank's fraud investigation is completed." I looked at Ethan. His face had gone pale. "Mom," he whispered. I didn't answer. He finally looked at me. "Did you know?" "Know what?" "That I didn't know about the signatures." I was silent. He looked at Robert, then at Lauren, and for the first time, I saw doubt in his eyes. Real doubt. The kind that arrives when the story you've believed begins collapsing. Robert stood up again. "This is ridiculous," Susan said. "Sit down." He ignored her. He walked toward the door, and that's when Ethan spoke. "Wait." Robert stopped. Ethan looked at him. "You told me the paperwork was legitimate." Robert didn't answer. "You told me my mom was holding the money because she didn't trust me." Silence. "You told me the property was already under contract." Still silence. Ethan's voice broke. "Was any of it real?" Robert looked at him and said, "Your mother was never going to give you that money willingly." I felt something cold move through me. Ethan stared at him. "What does that mean?" Robert didn't answer. Lauren started crying. "Dad, stop." I looked at her. She had known. Maybe not everything, but enough. Ethan turned to her. "Did you know?" She wiped her tears. "I knew there was a plan." "What plan?" "To convince your mother." "How?" She couldn't answer. Ethan stepped back. "You lied to me," she whispered. "I was trying to help us." "No." He shook his head. "You were trying to get the money." Lauren cried harder, and I watched my son realize that the people he'd trusted were not who he thought they were. But there was still one thing I couldn't forgive. He had believed them over me. Not because he was stupid, because he wanted to believe them. He wanted the money. He wanted the life they promised him. And sometimes desire makes people ignore the warnings they would normally see. The investigation continued for months. Robert was eventually charged with financial fraud related to several investors. Lauren cooperated with investigators. Ethan was not charged, but he had to provide documents, emails, and testimony. The engagement was canceled. The wedding never happened. Ethan moved out of the apartment he shared with Lauren, and for a while he disappeared from my life. Completely. 6 months passed. Then one rainy Sunday afternoon, someone knocked on my door. I knew who it was before I opened it. Ethan stood there. He looked thinner, tired, older. He wasn't wearing an expensive jacket anymore. He was wearing jeans and a simple sweater. He looked like my little boy again. Almost. "Can I come in?" I stepped aside. He walked into the house. He looked around. The same furniture. The same photographs. The same old kitchen. He sat down. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. Finally, he said, "I owe you an apology." I nodded. "Yes." He looked at the floor. "I was horrible to you." I didn't interrupt. "I embarrassed you." "No." He looked up. "You didn't embarrass me." "I embarrassed you." "No." I shook my head. "You embarrassed yourself." He swallowed. "I know." His eyes filled with tears. "I thought you were trying to control me." "I know." "I thought you didn't believe in me." "I know." "I thought Lauren understood me better than you." I looked at him. "And now?" He gave a painful smile. "Now I know she understood what I had." I looked away. He continued, "Mom, I'm sorry." I wanted to hug him. Every part of me wanted to. But I didn't. Not immediately. Because forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. I said, "I love you." He nodded. "But I need you to understand something." "What?" "I will always be your mother." He looked at me. "But I will never again confuse loving you with protecting you from the consequences of your choices." He nodded slowly. "I understand. You don't need my money to prove you're successful." "I know. You don't need to impress anyone." "I know. And you don't need to become rich to make me proud." He started crying. "I know that now." Then he said something that broke my heart. I wish I had known before. I reached across the table. This time, I took his hand. "You weren't supposed to know everything at 25. He smiled through his tears. You still think I'm 25? To me, you always will be." He laughed. It was the first time I'd heard that laugh in months. We talked for hours that afternoon. Not about money. Not about Lauren. Not about Robert. We talked about David. We talked about childhood. We talked about the night he learned his father had died. He told me he remembered me sitting beside him. "I don't remember what you said," he whispered, "but I remember your hand on my back." I smiled. "I promised you I'd always be there." "You were." "I still am." He looked at me. "Even after everything?" I squeezed his hand. "Especially after everything." But our relationship didn't magically become perfect. It took time. Trust doesn't return because someone says sorry. It returns through behavior. Little by little. Ethan got a new job. He rented a small apartment. He stopped chasing quick money. He started therapy. He learned to manage his finances. He paid back every legitimate debt he had. And he never asked me for money again. 2 years later, the trust reached the age at which he could receive greater control. Susan called me. "You're no longer required to be the sole trustee." I asked, "Do you think he's ready?" She smiled. "I think you already know." I did. But I didn't simply hand him everything. We sat down with the attorneys. Ethan reviewed every document. He asked questions. He read the fine print. He didn't rush. He didn't demand. And when the time came to sign the final papers, he looked at me. "Mom, yes. I'm not going to waste this." I smiled. "I know." Then he said, "You know what?" "What?" "I don't even care about the money the way I used to." I laughed. "You better care a little." He laughed too. "I do." Then he became serious. "I care about what it represents." "What does it represent?" He looked at me. "Everything you sacrificed." I didn't know what to say, so I hugged him. And this time, I didn't hold back. Today, Ethan and I have a relationship that is stronger than it was before the engagement party. Not because what happened was good. It wasn't. But because we finally learned something we should have learned years earlier. Love doesn't mean giving someone everything they ask for. Sometimes love means saying no. Sometimes love means letting someone be angry with you. Sometimes love means walking away instead of fighting. And sometimes, protecting your child means protecting them from the consequences of the people they have chosen to trust. I still think about that night. The engagement party. The music. The flowers. The cake. My son's voice saying, "You're embarrassing me." For a long time, those words hurt. Now they don't. Because I understand something I didn't understand that night. He wasn't really asking me to leave his party. He was asking me to leave the version of his life that he had created without me. And I did. I walked away. But I didn't abandon him. I simply stopped chasing him. And sometimes that's the only way someone learns the difference between being loved and being controlled. The most painful part of this story wasn't losing my son's trust. It was realizing how easily he had traded it for someone else's approval. But the most beautiful part was watching him find his way back. Not back to the money. Not back to the trust. Back to himself. And back to me. If there is one thing I want you to remember from my story, it's this. Never let the fear of losing someone make you betray yourself. Your children may become angry with you. Your family may misunderstand you. People may call you selfish. They may tell you that you're ruining someone's future. But if your heart knows you're doing the right thing, stand firm. Because sometimes the person who is angry with you today will thank you years later. And sometimes the no they hate the most is the very thing that saves them. As for Ethan, he still jokes about the morning he called me asking for the trust. He says, "Mom, I thought you were going to give me the money." And I always answer the same way. I was. He looks surprised. "Really?" I smile. "Yes." Then I tell him, "I was going to give you something much more valuable." He always asks, "What?" And I say, "Another chance to become the man your father believed you could be." Because in the end, that was the real inheritance. Not the money. Not the investments. Not the trust account. It was the chance to learn that character is worth more than wealth. And that no matter how much money a person inherits, they still have to earn the right to live with themselves.